No, here we are. All right, here we are. All right. So we got Brittany's already here with us. All right, so here we are. We
did it.
We did it.
We figured it out.
Man, we got it figured out. So man, it's been a kind of a wild couple of weeks. We weren't here last week. A lot has happened. What's been going on with you two?
Well, my boobs are escaping, so I'm really sorry, everybody. But like, I can't. There's nothing I can fucking do. Okay.
Well, hey, this is what it is.
You are with child, so it's
you're with child. You get a you get a pass, and hey, that might help our viewership. Hey, Jake wants the team.
That's what I thought. That's what
I thought. Cincy might join us now.
I'm like one of the Bud girls, but only from like here up. You know, and then it's like 16 and pregnant from here down, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Not good.
Falk, I've been flashed. Jesus H. Christ, ma'am.
Listen, they got a mind of their own.
Yeah, that happens. That's the life of the pregnant chick.
Life of the pregnant chick. We got 4 more months, fellas.
Yeah.
4 more months.
Man,
and my kid has a creepy pinky. Just throwing that out there.
Well,
that doesn't shock me that much. I don't know why, because I've never met you in real life, but it doesn't shock me.
You know, honestly, it shouldn't shock me either. But for whatever reason, I'm like, wait, he should be perfectly normal. You know, and what bothers me the most. I'm
not saying he's not normal. It's just, you know.
Listen, if I knew he was gonna have a creepy pinky, I would have like eaten a bunch of turkey sandwiches or like done whatever I wanted. And instead, I was like super healthy, and he has a creepy pinky.
You'd have drank. Why didn't you drink?
Exactly.
You smoke some weed.
Do heroin with their kids. I don't even know you guys.
Hey, you're right. That's usually the way that it happens. Jason, what y'all had a show earlier, right?
Yeah. We just got done, and I was trying to catch up on some of my part-time, soon-to-be full-time work, and technology has not been my friend today. It's been just a fucking shit show of a day. So I'm coming in hot.
I gotta know, are you losing weight? Because if you are, I don't like you.
No, I haven't worked. I haven't been at the firehouse for like probably a week.
So it was the beard. Okay, so
it's the beard. The beard's covering up the double chin.
All right.
Yeah. Or triple, depending on the week.
I guess that should be my angle. So
and I don't
go back until
to the firehouse until Tuesday, and then I'll have a couple days there, and then I'll be off for a while, and the beard will come back, and we're gonna ebb and flow with it. But
got it.
As soon as I'm out of that motherfucker, this shit is coming out. It's gonna be amazing.
So on your new job, you can have a ZZ top if you want one.
Oh yeah.
No shit, that's good.
Yes, sir.
Well,
I'm gonna forget Dollar Shave Club, fucking Razor Club for a little bit, and then till Jill tells me she's gonna leave me, and then I'll shave it.
And that's it. Fair.
Well, mine there's a thin line on my beard. It is like one day
like
different.
A Hank Hill beard.
Yeah, one day difference. It's like it gets really shabby, you know. So I gotta try to keep it. What I did the last couple of weeks, so I shave it completely. Then every 10 days, I shave it.
You guys just need to get pregnant, and then you'll have a full-fledged, full.
Oh, dude, this is only pretty much like 4 days of not shaving. Like I can grow a massive fucking beard, like majestic.
I can't. What y'all seen is y'all seen the most that I can do. I can't do any more than what y'all have seen.
It's like a 16-year-old boy like going through puberty. Like maybe they're gonna go and maybe they're not. And that's James's.
Yeah.
That's a scruff. Fair.
So I've had
some are growers and some are showers.
And that's life. That's just what life is. Some show and some grow. So I've had an interesting week, and I did a show yesterday morning on, we're going to talk about AOC and her just being such an ass clown. But I got I was telling Candace earlier, Jason, that I feel like I got to send her a thank you card because she gives us so much content. Yeah, I did a show on that yesterday morning, and then I cut a couple of reels and a couple of shorts. And Facebook, for me, it blew up. I had over 200,000 views, and I'm anxious to see tonight if any of our new followers join us tonight. So if you're a new follower from my Facebook page because of the AOC reels, make yourself known. I'd like to see if that how that's working. But man, I got over 200,000 views, gained about 1,300 followers. Even though she's such a clown, people are pretty mad about this. So yeah, she's in there. Let's show the video. I mean, I think everybody's probably seen the video at this point, but let's just show it and then we can get y'all's take on it.
Here today because I want to make sure that we all understand that Montgomery is not alone. It is time for the North to pull up to the South. It is time for New York to pull up to Alabama. It is time for all of us to come to Georgia, to Louisiana, to Tennessee, to Mississippi, and let them know exactly what they have uncorked with this injustice.
So
coming from the former bartender.
So I guess I should maybe go first, since she named me specifically being Louisiana. And I've just been y'all said some pretty strong things, but it's really humorous. If she wasn't such a fucking clown, and you can't, and this is why I always say Democrats just aren't serious people. She's just not a serious person. But tell me this isn't a form of insurrection. Tell me if she was serious, if you could take her serious. You can't say that. You can't call a sitting congressman calling for a civil war, and she doesn't mean it, obviously. But I'd love to see her. I'd love to see her pull up in Louisiana, because I know that both of y'all are familiar with Boudin, because I've sent y'all Boudin. AOC, if somehow she's listening, and I said this on one of my on my show yesterday, be real careful with dealing with Louisiana people. Pull it up, because there's different types of Boudin. The Boudin that I sent y'all to eat, and there's the other kind of Boudin that one of these coon asses, they'll bend her over and put about two pounds of Boudin up in her real quick. Here's my point. AOC, you don't want to fuck with these people. Quit fucking with these people. It's silly. Yeah, I ended up getting a lot of views off of it and had some fun with her, but it's really just ridiculous. Is this what we are paying our congressmen for?
Well, it's once again out of touch. It's always been out of touch. AOC, this is the same AOC that went to the Met Gala, okay? Like, to try and be this relevant person, I'm normal, I can roll up and do this and do that. Ma'am, you've been in a private jet. You've been in a private jet. My ass has not been in a private jet. Many people that are struggling in the country have not been on a private jet.
No.
But not only did your ass get the $15,000 for a Met Gala ticket at the year that you went, you also spray painted your dress, putting tax the rich on a $15,000+ ticketed night. And you've been all over the country in a private jet. So it just always comes back to being so fucking tone deaf that I don't know how anybody can listen to somebody like her and go, yes, she's speaking for me. She's speaking for you, James, in Louisiana. Like, yeah, it just is so inauthentic and so tone deaf, and it's just the same old shit over and over and over again.
It's well, I guess what I don't understand too is if she really is thinking about running for president, and my God, I hope she gets a nomination. I mean, that is a slam dunk, whether it's JD or Marco, either one.
That would be better than winning an Oscar.
Oh God!
Better than winning the lottery.
Better would be if her vice president was Jasmine. If those two, that would be perfect. But I just don't. They're just not serious people. And I guess from a political strategy standpoint, if you're thinking about running for a national office, you just insulted half the fucking country, you know?
Right.
So I guess I don't get either way. She's just not a serious person.
Well, this is the same one that didn't understand like where South America was or whatever the fuck she was saying that one time. She has no concept of the world itself. So how can we expect her to have any concept of the nation that we live in? Again, tone deaf, disingenuous, just why she's still here, why people give her a microphone and say, talk, baby girl. I'll never understand.
She needs to keep talking
it helps us.
Yeah, she needs to, for our sake, she needs to keep talking. What's your take on that, Jason? I mean,
she's
a clown.
It's been many years of watching this asshat tout herself around of, oh, I went from a bartender to all of a sudden here I am. Yeah. And the only thing she knows how to fucking make is a goddamn shot. And I'm not even sure she even knows how to do that. I'd like to try one just to see how fucking stupid she actually really is. But hearing that, and I did see that, we didn't highlight it on one more, but I saw it and I just fucking giggled. And I'm like, you are one of the biggest fucking buffoons.
Yeah.
That is out there in American politics. And that's saying something, because there's a lot. I mean, I could grab fucking 30, 40 right now.
And most of them have a D behind their name, but we have a few with the R's. But
yes,
it's
absolutely. And I'm fair. I throw shade to both sides. But that fucking idiot and her wanting to grandstand the way she is and trying to, she's trying to be, and I hope she is, Kamala 2.0 of,
yeah. Well, why wouldn't you want to be, Jason? Kamala was so successful. Why wouldn't you want to be like her?
He's going to unburden what's been burdened. Please tell me that. Please tell me she's going to come out with some type of fucking speech like that. Because guess what?
Well, she has no substance.
Jill always sends me the meme of Michael Jackson eating popcorn in the the video Thriller. Oh, that's going to be me. Please do. Please just, keep doing it. Keep doing it. You're doing great. I think you're doing amazing.
And it's funny. I feel like she's taking a page out of Hillary's book. Yeah. She's like taking a page out of Hillary's book where she just yells about nothing just so that she gets inflection. And I listen to that video. I'm like, all right, cool. You're just trying to do what exactly? You're trying to just get everybody excited. AOC, like, you're not an excitement like rabble rouser. I don't see her, like I said, I don't see the point of her being relevant. I don't see the point of her being the front or fore focus of anybody saying, here's a microphone, have at it. I don't get it.
I'm not trying to drive like off topic, but it's on topic of this dumb bitch. But picture her debating whether it's Vance or whether it's Rubio or, whoever. I will say Hillary debated Trump very, very well. I feel like she did.
Hillary is
anybody that is planning on running right now on the D side against Rubio or Vance.
They're in trouble.
Don't have a fucking shot.
No,
especially when you go out and you fucking do that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
The only debate with those two involved that would be competitive would be with each other. That's in
a padded room.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about with Vance and Rubio, them debating each other, like if they were both in the primary. That would be the only intelligent debate that I could see. Them two against anybody else besides each other, and I don't think that's going to happen, is not a fair fight. No matter, Newsom, I've told y'all this before, I used to be somewhat scared of Newsom because,
he's been the gift that keeps on giving too.
The more he talks, the better, man. He's
right.
This guy's a complete butt fuck. AOC is
spiraled. Like he is the poster child for TDS because once he got a MAGA hat in the mail, it was like, oh my God. And he's just downward spiraled his ass ever since.
But who do they have now? Because you got Newsom, who's proven more he talks, he's a butt fuck. I mean, AOC.
They have Shapiro.
Yeah,
I'm scared of
well,
Shapiro.
I'm scared of Shapiro. AOC is a fucking twat.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. Who's scared of her? Shapiro does scare me, but
I don't
I
love
say
it.
I don't. But here's the issue with that. At least if he got the nomination, if something did happen and we lost, we wouldn't be losing to a complete.
Agreed.
It would.
Yes.
I mean, it's not our choice. It's not our ideal. But God,
he's not so far left. Like
No,
he's
yeah.
left, but I feel like he's not as far
Well,
as.
Could you see AOC dealing with all these other world leaders? Could you see
No.
that?
That would be embarrassing.
Oh, it'd be worse. She thinks fucking with the South people. And look, here's the other thing.
She'd be like, "Hey, I need a summit at Camp David. Everybody, bring your Taylor Swift jammies, and all we're gonna do is just watch movies and eat popcorn."
And she needs to get on.
I'm gonna mix the drinks. I'm gonna mix the drinks. Okay,
and it'll be like espresso martinis. Ha. Yeah.
So here's the other thing, AOC. If you happen to be listening, you need to get one of them doctors get you some of that fat shot because she's gained a little weight. You know, physical attractiveness will take you a little bit, but she's getting a little plump. You're pregnant, Candace. You don't count. So she, and now she's prime for them Kunas over here. Now she is prime picking now. She's at that slaughter weight.
Slaughter weight.
She's at that slaughter weight over here, man.
I think she should switch up the shade of lipstick too, because I don't know if red's her best color if you're packing on, 20, 30 pounds.
Yeah.
Same.
Oh, she done packed on a few.
Get her some GLPs.
Yeah, she needs to do something. But I just, man, I'm embarrassed for him. It's like, how can anybody listen to that, even if they don't like? And look, that was a response to the redistricting, and we can touch on that because my state again was one of those. Even if you agree with her politics, how can you listen to her and say, man, she's the fucking one, man. She's who we need. We need her fighting for us. How can you do that? Because there are people that I do agree with their politics, but I don't think that, even on our side, there are some people that I do agree with their politics. I like their stance on some things. I like some of the things that, even though I don't like him, I like some of Rand Paul's stances. I think he's a butt fuck, and I would never vote for him. But how can you listen to her and be like, yeah, she's the one. She's who we need to carry this torch. I don't get it.
That's what I mean. They try so hard to be trendy and relevant. And it's like, guys, hi, hello. You're in the same group of like Mr. Mamdani, and everything he's doing is like being set on fire. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know how you can, again, be so just irrelevant and so far off base that you have the confidence to talk that way when the example of who you are and what you want is on fucking fire in New York City. I don't get it.
I agree with Jill on this. I don't think he could get the nomination because the Democrats are too fucking stupid to realize. See, what the problem is they can't see that. And I was wrong. Look, in 2016, I was wrong. I kept saying, hey, we shouldn't nominate Trump because Trump can't win the general. And I was wrong. But I say that with Shapiro, the Democrats would they would be foolish not to get behind him because he's probably their best chance to win. These a progressive clown like AOC and Gavin Newsom, they have no chance of winning. But a person that can be painted, even though I don't think Shapiro's that moderate. I think he's pretty far left, but he can present himself. He talks, he talks educated. He doesn't come across as an ass clown. So if they were smart, in which, thankfully for us, they're not.
They're not.
If they were smart, they would get behind, but they can't. There's too much division. There's more division because you got such the far left and you got the old school Democrats. They're so far apart. I don't think they can come together and nominate a person like him. So I agree with Jill on that.
Well, what's funny is it's amazing. You are able to admit the fact that, hey, I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was
Oh, I
wrong
think we
in
all
thinking
were.
that. But you go to the other side and, oh, well, no, it was rigged. We aren't wrong. You're
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's, I mean,
yeah.
that's the difference in, and I'm going to say it, good people and fucking bad people. I mean, it just is what it is. I admit that I'm fucking wrong every goddamn day.
Well, if you don't admit it, Jill reminds you of that. So it's okay.
Well, that's a whole different story. That's a non-political realm. But out in the world, I admit when I'm wrong, and I know so many people that don't align the same way I do, which I don't care. Align the way you want to align, and guess what? You have that right to cast your vote and do your thing. But they never admit when they're wrong.
Yeah.
No, because they truly believe that they're not. That's what's crazy. Like it's not just a statement. Like they believe the shit that they say, and that's next level. But I've said it once and I'll say it again. I think one of the reasons why conservatism is difficult is because we go against the grain. Like we don't believe in groupthink. We believe in different ideas, and liberals don't. They follow each other blindly into the sunset, no matter what it takes. And I almost wish that we were more like that, because
I agree. There's a benefit to that.
That's exactly where I was going to go as well. And I mean,
there is a benefit to that. We're
ideology,
throats.
Right. And that ideology goes against everything that we are, everything that conservatism was founded on. And so I hate that I'm like, I wish we could change that, because it prevents us from getting shit done. I mean, look at when Obama was in office and he had everything he needed. He pushed everything through.
He was able to get that's the problem. You're right.
Over the SAVE Act. We're still fighting over that. What's happening?
Yeah. But do they not fucking understand? Look what happened yesterday. Cornyn got his TT fucking spanked.
Oh,
Cassidy 2 weeks or a week ago got his TT spanked. And why? Because of the SAVE Act. So that's the biggest thing here, is that's where you have to somewhat admire the Democrats for that, because even the ones that weren't, say the ones that, that was a tight race back in 2008 with Hillary and Obama. But what happened was they said, okay, this is what we're doing, then this is what we're doing. There was never you didn't have the never Obamas like you have the never Trumpers. You still have that. And so therefore, look at all these freaking swamp senators. Trump can't get anything done. What has to happen, and the Democrats do this, and we don't, is even if you don't like Donald Trump, if you're a Republican, if you're a conservative, and you want this agenda, if the people say Donald Trump's the guy, it's okay. He's the guy then. Once the decision is made, then that's what it is. And you have to go, and that's what the Democrats do better than we do. Now, they get behind.
You can hide as you would call, or who called him? Was it you or Dan? Crap weasels.
That's Dan. That's a Carol.
You can hide a crap weasel amongst a pile of shit. If everybody is in that pile of shit, when you have people that are sitting there that are outside of that pile of shit, and they're like, "Oh, fuck, I can't get behind it," and that's where we're at.
Yep,
is the fact that we'll call some people out, but we can't get everybody to come together. But we also don't want to be crap weasels.
That's why I despise
Carol on this show.
That's why I despise people like Mike Pence. And I go on Twitter and I go off on that little fucking weasel, Scaramucci. What was his name? He was the director of communications, Anthony Scaramucci. They call him the Mooch. He lasted about 3 days in the administration. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? All you're doing, the more that you discredit Trump and the more you go after Trump, the more you're hurting the movement.
Right.
And like I said, once it's decided that the majority of us, the Republicans, said, hey, Trump's the guy, then he's the fucking guy. and you got to go with him, or you don't get the things done. The SAVE Act is just always going to be the most astounding thing to me.
It's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. It's the biggest no-brainer I've ever seen. This is the biggest no-brainer ever.
And I don't know what the holdup is.
Yeah.
I don't know what the holdup is. Like, somebody tell me, like, I'm a kindergartner, like, what the holdup is. Now, from what I understand, like, it's a budgetary situation. So you've got the hardcore conservatives that are like, no, I don't want to spend any more money.
Candace, it's padding pockets is what it is.
It's all it is.
And of course, the fear of, am I going to get reelected? Like, that's the other thing. I feel like we are just always going to go through this. And that's kind of why I needed a break last week, where I was just like, none of this shit. The primary elections, guys, like, everybody's all like, yeah, the Trump back candidates won. And I'm like, who gives a fuck? Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It's fucking infighting. We're fighting against ourselves.
And the problem is like,
trying to eat ourselves.
All of these people who are, going forward for the primary election, whatever they're doing, they have to defend all the shit that's going on right now. So they've got to defend the fact that we're at over, $5 for gas. They got to defend all these things. So, like, I still don't think it matters. At the end of the day, I don't think midterms is going to be a shoo-in for us, regardless of whether or not we're supposed to be doing what we're supposed to be doing in Iran, which I believe we are. People are dumb. They don't see it that way. And so, we can clap and say, yes, this is great. So great that this guy's moving forward. Is it going to fucking matter? And that's kind of where I've gotten to, where I feel like at this point, it doesn't matter, because when we have everything that we need to put everything in line, like get rid of the Affordable Care Act, get rid of all this shit, we had the opportunity. We don't take it because we can't agree. And the reason why we can't agree is really because that's the whole point of conservatives. We're not supposed to fucking agree, but it's what makes us lose each and every time. And so we're always going to.
It is. And yeah, I think that the midterms are going to come down to one thing, because something tangible has to be there. And I think the midterms are going to come down to gas prices. I think if you get the gas under $3 a gallon by probably September, October, and I have a personal gripe with it too, like everybody else. I saw somebody on the news today. So, it's going to, even though we got progress, it's going to take a couple months. Hold the fuck on.
Right.
So you're going to tell me it didn't take a couple months for it to fucking go up? It went up overnight.
And I'm still waiting for the gas tax to be
so why can't it go down overnight? Mm-hmm. If we know we're stable, why can't it go down overnight? It went up overnight. Why can't it go down overnight? And that's why people don't fucking trust none of you motherfuckers.
It's the truth. And it's the truth. And again, we're talking about freezing the gas tax. My state is the third highest with the gas tax. Why? Like, we say this shit, and that's the thing. Love Trump, but shut the fuck up if you can't do something. Shut the fuck up. Don't say it. Okay, be like a parent. I'm not going to tell my kids I'm going to do something for them unless I'm for sure able to do it. Because as of right now, he said that 2 weeks ago. We revisited every couple days. We're still dealing with a fucking gas tax every day. That's kicking shit up 30, 40 cents. So it's like, come on, what are we doing? And that's what the normal people, that's what the everyday person sees. That's what a moderate sees. That's what an independent sees. Conservatives, we, like you have all said, we've bought into what we're buying into. We would never go to a Democratic candidate. It's not who we are and what we believe. But you have groups of people that are not sure, and the things that affect them every day, unfortunately, are gas prices. It's what fucked Biden. Eggs and gas prices. Let's call it what it is. And so, like, let's stop being so arrogant. Be the number one thing. Let's stop being so arrogant that we think that that's not going to affect our side.
Because it's tangible. It's tangible.
Exactly.
You see it. I don't know if y'all's towns are like mine. Do you have a gas station at every fucking corner?
Oh yeah.
So you see it. You see it at every corner. So it is so tangible. That's why I feel like gas prices are going to be the biggest thing, because it's something that you see. It's something that you feel. Taxes is one thing, Candace. You don't typically see the tax. Like Dave Ramsey says, you'd be really pissed about taxes if you got your full check. If you got your full check and as you're walking out the door on Friday, somebody stand at the door and say, hey, give me 30%, you got to hand it back over to them. So that's why we don't get mad about that. We see it at the pump. We see it on the sign. That's why I say that gas price is going to be the biggest. There's going to be the biggest issue of this election.
It's in your face. So I just pulled it up because I wasn't sure. I didn't know. So right now in Pennsylvania, it's 57.6 cents. Ohio is 38.5 cents
for gas tax, right?
For gas tax.
Yep.
And then Louisiana is 20. So when you guys were
you're damn near 3 times more than us, Candace.
Yeah, it sucks. For my state. Now think about that. We're like incredibly rural. Most of Pennsylvania is not real city. Like most of us that live out of the cities, you can't go anywhere unless, I mean, my business is an hour from where I live. My kid's school is 45 minutes from where I live. It hurts people like us the most because we're so rural and spread out. It's not city-like.
When you were driving to come back to home, to get ready for this or, whatever, what's the last number you saw? Gas. Okay.
Well, it's kind of a trick question for me because 2 out of the 3 vehicles we have need premium gas. So when I'm looking,
just a number on a gas station.
I'm looking at like 556, 565. I paid $569. I paid $5.99 in Jersey. And
y'all gotta be paying $7.
I'm talking about right before this show. What'd you see?
Right before the show was like $5.65 for premium. So that means it was probably like $4.60, $4.65 for regular.
Okay. All right, James.
So we are
So
right now we are right at $4. Probably between $3.50, probably. Yeah. So, but diesel.
There's a reason why I'm asking this question.
I drive a diesel. I'm at $5 a gallon.
Well, yeah. So yeah, you being diesel is that's a whole nother.
That's a whole different
can of worms. So when I was coming back to the house today, we finally got down to $4.18 for just regular unleaded gas, not premium, just $4.18. But it was either yesterday or the day before was $4.86 for regular gas. So the numbers are coming down. Everybody has to realize the numbers are going to go up. And again, I'm a huge Trump supporter. I don't agree with everything he does, but I understand the methodology of what he's doing.
Sure. As do I.
It's going to come down. And I'm not talking to you guys. I'm just talking to the idiots that are like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? We're making sure somebody doesn't have fucking nuclear weapons, first and foremost, which is the one country that I do not want to have them. I want us to have them. I trust a couple others to like have some stable minds about use of them, but fucking Iran is definitely not the one. Have we been in there too long? Yes, I think we have, but there's a plan. There's a method, and guess what? I'm a grunt. I don't need to know all of the plans. I'm trusting my fucking government to do the right thing. I don't trust the government with everything, but I trust this. The gas prices are slowly trickling down, but they're still, even when they went up high, how much bullshit did we go through with Biden, as you guys talked about earlier? They're coming down. Now, I didn't realize the gas tax in Pennsylvania versus Ohio. I was just curious. That was more of a curiosity thing because I watch that shit all the fucking time. We got a gas station right around the corner from our house. Every time I drive by, I'm like, God damn.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, shit. All right. But I also remember when it was, fucking $2. But guess what? When we have to get involved in some other shit, everybody's going to have to pay a little bit to get shit done.
Well, here's the thing. Our gas tax at the end of the day was because of fucking Corbett, who is a Republican. So like they all suck in one way or another when it comes to gas prices. Okay. So that was just, we inherited that. But here's something that somebody else said to me that made a lot of sense that I never connected those dots is like how many other Democrats have come after Tom and nobody's taken the initiative to lower the gas tax. And it's the same thing in California. And I don't know who has the number 2 spot, but California and us, I mean, there's riddled with Democrats. Not one Democrat that has been in local office has said, let's get rid of this gas tax. It's too much. You could make it so much easier for the people that live in these states if we lowered these gas taxes. No matter who implemented them, sure, Republican did it for us, fuck him. But how many Democrats came after him that could have easily reduced it or figured out another way to cushion that fund?
Yeah, California is 61.2.
Mm-hmm. And how disgusting is they're not that much higher than us. And think about California as a whole.
Oh yeah.
And you look at Pennsylvania is 4 cents away from what California charges. That to me like fucking pisses me off even more. I wish I didn't know that because now I'm like ready to flip tables. You gotta be fucking for real.
Now, poor Bill's laying in bed going, "Fuck! I have a pregnant wife, and
oh my god,
she's off more about that
over gas.
Son of a bitch."
Well, shit, I want a new car. Okay, and so like,
I want to talk to Bill on the phone at some point.
He's gonna be like, I can't deal with this.
Oh, him and I'll get along fucking great.
Oh yeah, he's please.
Somebody's got to talk him off a fucking ledge.
I know. I want a puppy. I want a new car. He's like, gas prices. Fucking
God.
Shit.
Oh shit.
And he's like, I can't.
Have you and Jill been talking?
No, not yet. Not yet. We gonna get each other some things.
Jill Billy's in the chats. Jill, you are sanctioned from Candace. I'm just.
You cannot talk about puppies and cars. But I mean, truthfully, this is a bitch for people, and it annoys me that the Democrats are then crying, right, about gas prices. And it's like, guys, you had the opportunity to make it somewhat better, get rid of an exuberant amount of additional tax on some of these gas prices, and they choose not to. So everybody fucking sucks when it comes to gas prices, if you ask me. But hey, grocery prices are way, way cheaper. I will say that. Anybody who says they aren't are a liar.
And nobody ever wins that fight. I'm not trying to say that, Trump dropped it. Nobody wins that fight. But that's, to James's point, that's what people look at.
Yep.
Yeah.
Eggs and gas.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going back and forth. And obviously, when we get involved in a issue in the Middle East,
that's what you got to deal with. That's the end result. That's the end result. Economically, though, there's so many things that I absolutely support with the whole Iran situation that makes so much sense for us to do what we're doing in the eyes of world economics. So I'm really okay with it at the end of the day. I will take $5. Yeah.
I actually want to go harder in the fucking paint because I'm tired.
Exactly.
Of it. Let's just fucking be done and make that whole country fucking glass. I don't give a shit.
To protect our dollar, to protect our investments there, like, I'm good with it. I will gladly pay what we have to pay. But you have a lot of people that don't know those things. They don't talk to other people. They don't know people from other countries. They don't have the intellect to connect any of those dots. And they just say, it's because of Israel. And
let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Ooh.
A lot of people don't. I mean, we don't even know who we're negotiating with. The government.
And that's a big issue. Yeah.
We don't even know who we're negotiating with.
Big issue there.
But some of the bullshit that they're wanting to put in the parameters for this, this peace talk are so outlandish. Oh, we want to keep our uranium, our enriched uranium. Well, no, that's the whole basis of this motherfucker. Like, that is a no-go.
Yeah.
And Trump is standing by that. And that's where people, and especially on the left, are getting pissed off. Some and some on the right, which is fair, but they're getting pissed off because, and where Trump fucked up, in my opinion, is putting a time frame on it.
Agreed. Because now he keeps having to move it. He keeps having to.
He can't get his job done. Well, guess what? The goalpost is being moved.
Yeah.
On both sides. Our side and theirs. Because once they bring, they push it back this way, we're like, oh, well, we're going to push it back a little bit further now.
Right.
I mean,
Look
it's
at
simple
us.
negotiations. I mean,
We
James,
went on a
you've been
tangent,
involved in
Jason.
negotiations.
Yeah, I think that's how Trump operates, and I think
Yeah.
there has been somewhat some backfire, and I'll close this topic out with this. It's what
James is tired of being you getting fucking.
No. I know we got some other stuff.
We went off kilter.
No, what I'm tired of,
like
and this is the
4
perfect
weeks behind,
example.
James, what do you want?
You've got you've got some of the really influential people like Tucker. Megan has just lost her fucking mind over this war. The Haas twins have turned, but the problem is this: where y'all gonna go? Okay, Megan, which y'all know I love Megan. Where are you gonna go, Tucker? You going to AOC? Where are you going? So why don't you just fucking stop? And why don't you just say, hey, I don't like this. And I've said that when we talk about the war, I've told y'all this. I'm indifferent on it. I kind of go back and forth. But my point is, I trust Donald Trump and I support him. So that's what we have to do and stop all this division. And, we're not, we just, where we're going to go. We're going to go, okay, here's a perfect example. Moving on to our next topic. What are you going to do? You're going to go to Jacob Fry? You're going to go to those kind of fucking people? Look at these fucking clowns. We have Memorial Day, which fell on, and I do want to give a congratulations to George Floyd for being 6 years sober. So on Memorial Day was 6 years that he died of a drug overdose. And look at what this complete fucking clown does.
Fry honors George Floyd, mentions Memorial Day only after press info. Today we remember George Floyd, who was murdered by a former Minneapolis police officer 6 years ago. That moment changed our city forever. Yes, it did, and not for the better. How bad is it when Tim Waltz has posted it at 8:55, Amy Klobuchar 8:22, even at Keith Ellison, Keith X. But Jacob Fry couldn't be bothered. Mayor Jacob Fry honors George Floyd.
Look, and nobody pays him attention, but this is another example. It's just like with AOC.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're just that irrelevant. Nobody cares. But could you imagine? We wouldn't tolerate that from one of our elected leaders. We would not. And look, there's no shame in them. They don't apologize. They are so self-righteous and so arrogant. They just do it. They don't care. They hate America. It's well known they hate America, and they don't care that it's known.
Well, we created this problem. Like, I remember the whole George Floyd situation. We all did, right? And I remember my first initial instinct was like, oh my gosh, that's shocking. Like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe that video is out. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. And then it's like, you wait the 24, 48 hours to marinate on it. And you see like, oh, actually he was like running and robbing and whatever else. And so, more of the story comes out. And I think the problem is like, look, I will be the first one to say like, everybody backs the blue. Okay, that's awesome. That's great. Sure, I do that too. There's a lot of piece of shit cops. There is. I've seen them. My husband dealt with them.
I worked with some. I know.
Exactly. And so when you appeal to
James
that,
was one.
There you go. And so when you have that narrative and that's what's being pushed, we all felt like we had to, and I don't know how you guys felt when it happened because we didn't all know each other, but it was like everybody felt like they needed to make a statement. And then we all had to like, oh no, we really care. And I got to be honest with you. I don't think the three of us gave a fuck. Okay. Because you know what happened later? My dad was like, honey, your birthday is in June and like shit's really going on. So we're going to go get you a gun for your birthday. And that's what we did because of all of the ridiculous riots and shit that started happening after George Floyd and how they were breaking out in cities everywhere, including parts of my state that were a little too close for comfort. And it became this complete and utter bullshit story. And at the end of the day, we all allowed it because we did the black square profile picture after it happened. And we had to say, oh, that was so shocking. And so I blame us because we didn't wait to get the whole story. And because of that, I believe the officer was made an example of. And now you have this like social justice bullshit that is behind this guy that at the end of the day was doing something wrong. The cop really wasn't. It was a poor set of circumstances, and the guy died. And here we all just kind of like washed our hands and said, oh, how shocking, how terrible.
And he died of a drug overdose. That's documented. That's what he did. And I'll tell you, it's just like, you know, I started my career in 1990. Y'all know how I feel about this topic. So I started my career in 1990, about 2 months after Rodney King. And that changed policing forever.
I was 11.
And
I'm watching the O.J. Simpson documentary, and that's like some shit because of the fact that everything happened with Rodney King, and they were
that was retaliation. The jury, it did.
Yes.
So that changed everything, and just like with George Floyd. So I agree with you, Candace, about the rush to judgment, but there's a little difference in this case. So we didn't get to let the facts come out because they kept them from, because they kept them from us. They hid them. So I do get people saying, because I stood in front of all these young policemen and said, hey, this is wrong. And I always fight for the cops. I'm like, there's no defense in this. We are better than this as a profession. I did all that fucking stuff.
Yep.
But then we didn't even know for a year when all this started coming out. But here's my point, and I'm covering this tomorrow on my morning show extensively. This just shows you that they don't want to see it, because anybody, after all the facts have come out, all the cover up, what Keith Ellison did, and Tim Walz did, and Jacob Fry, and that whole bunch of them did. If you still think that Derek Chauvin, and let's go back to not even Derek Chauvin, the officer Tao, who is a minority. You've got Tao. He never laid a hand on George Floyd. He was sentenced to 5 years. Just got out of prison. Never laid you know what he did? He kept the crowd back.
Yep.
That is the to me the biggest injustice in the criminal justice system in modern day history, were these 4 policemen going to prison. And that was the biggest political conviction. And the problem is 6 years later, you still are saying he was murdered. He was not murdered. He died of a drug overdose. He was a bad guy, and he was in the act of doing bad things. And when you're in the act of doing bad things fucking happen.
It's like the dumbass that tried to run over the ICE officer. Like this, and see how we've evolved though, because when we first saw that, it was like, fucking A, don't be at a protest doing dumb shit. But when we were dealing with the George Floyd situation, it was because of that, it was such a controversial thing that you couldn't really say like, oh, maybe there's more to it. You had to instantly jump on the whole like justice for George bandwagon. And, now later on, it's like, we're a bunch of assholes. You know what I mean? And we created this situation where we allow people like Jacob Fry to cry on Memorial Day for George Floyd. And that's
such a little faggot. He is such a little faggot.
World. How this is the same thing that I've been saying with the Epstein files. If we would have just said, shit fucking happens, next, none of this dumb shit would be like so cyclically relevant. And that I think is what makes me so annoyed at what we have done as conservatives, where we feel like we have to again always say like, no, I'm a good person, I don't want minorities to get killed. And it's like, you shouldn't have to come out and say that. And every situation is different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
absolutely. In fairness to both the channels, the video was Fry at Floyd's funeral crying.
Yeah.
Walz opted to leave a Memorial Day honorance celebration, whatever term you want to use, to go to a George Floyd. I want that to be clear, because Jacob Fry wasn't crying on Memorial Day for George Floyd.
Oh, I'm sure he was.
Well, but in the images, I'm trying to make it clear for the channels, so that way.
I agree with that.
Okay, but
we got clarity.
Do you think any of these like fucking Bill Nye the Science Guy looking fucks actually care about George Floyd? Let's start there. Right? Like all of it is such performative theater, whether it be at the funeral, whether it be your stupid Facebook post, whatever it is, it's all performative theater. These guys don't give a fuck. They don't care. And they do it just like conservatives felt like they had to be like, oh no, we're a good person. And yet it somehow still gets them traction over and over and over.
Right.
So on a couple of Jill's questions. So yes, so this Towel guy, I think he had been on the job for about seriously 3 days, and Chauvin was his training officer. So he should have never. This guy didn't do anything wrong, and he went to prison over it. So as far as the tactical part, I don't like what they did, but if you really look at it, he wasn't putting, when you look at the angles that they didn't want you to see, and I've looked at every body camera, every second of it. I looked at probably 100 hours of body cam footage. He was not putting direct pressure on. Now it looks bad, but first off, that's what they were trained. And then side note, the interim chief is the assistant chief that lied, that got on the stand and lied and said she'd never seen that technique in her life. It's in the training manual. It's in your training manual, you fucking cunt. So this is what the whole problem is the whole corrupt Minneapolis system. And I like I said,
those guys were doing what their training manual.
They were doing what they were taught to do. Now
they were doomed from the start, you guys. Like, okay, so let's say he gets up off of him, and this guy stands up, starts running, and they shoot him. Oh, you know,
did you see?
Like, there's no.
There was never a punch thrown. There was never one strike. They didn't hit him. They didn't. I mean, we've seen some people. Rodney King got the brakes beat off of him. Those guys should have went to prison. They beat the brakes off of Rodney King.
And they were all acquitted, right?
I've seen some.
All four of them.
I've seen some beatings. George Floyd was not. There was no excessive force. I don't like, just because of what the end result was. If they just wouldn't have done that, but they didn't beat him. They weren't talking down to him. They were professional. So this is a huge injustice. But like Jason said, that was their training at the time. They hid evidence. I'm covering all this in the morning. They hid evidence. They pressured the medical examiner to change his autopsy report. Yeah. And it was a complete sham. And the fact that 6 years later, that any reasonable person, I know there's, like, you had some black preacher on social media Monday saying that George Floyd should be exhumed and buried at Arlington like the rest of the American heroes. That's how ridiculous this is. But that's you still have some reasonable people.
Are you shitting me? I never even fucking saw that.
Yeah. Well, you still have some reasonable people that think these policemen were wrong. And the reason why is they're not like me. They're not obsessed, because it should have been, the mainstream media has not done their job, because we know what side they're on. But it's so much has been hidden. The media's job, the legitimate journalism, media's job is to give us the facts, and they haven't given us the facts here. It's been people who don't have the viewership of the mainstream media, people, like me. There's a few people who have more viewers than me that are really on this, but you still have some reasonable people that think these policemen were wrong, and it's because of the lack of information. And if you ever doubt any of that, you've got to, what's the documentary, the Fall of Minneapolis. The Fall of Minneapolis, you have to watch that. And if you watch that, any reasonable human being watches that show, they're going to have the same conclusion that we do.
Well, the sad part is it's easy to hate cops. Like, that's what the media did. They made it very easy to hate cops, and they made it even easier to side with criminals. And that's like the trend that has been happening ever since. Look at what's going on with ICE. That same mentality is translating to each and everything. Unfortunately, the media made it easy to hate cops and glorify and love criminals.
And mainstream media stopped actually reporting and started throwing narratives.
Yep.
Yeah.
And here we are.
I mean, when I grew up and I was young, so I mean, I wasn't nearly as in tune, but I got news. Like my grandfather watching news every night. My dad watching news every night. I used to watch local news every night when it was news. Now it's narratives to where now it's everybody is either, you know, you're either on Fox, you're on CNN, you're on MSNBC, you're grabbing your shit. You can't even trust your local stations because of their affiliates. You can't trust it. So,
you know, I used to watch HLN. You guys remember HLN?
Oh yeah.
Bill
Headline
always
news
calls it like, yeah. And he used to call it like the like peanut butter and jelly, like fluffy news, you know, where it was like they had little snippets and then it was like, look, we found a puppy in Chicago and like, let's interview the puppy's parents. And that was the type of news. And I loved it and it was great. Okay, they had minor narratives, but it was not nearly as, you know, fast forward a decade later, here we are. You're absolutely right. And it's scary because you don't know what's true and what's not. And I feel like you really started to see that with the George Floyd circumstance where I think that's also why we all got an uproar of like, what are we seeing here? Like, what is happening? What is not? And then we relied on mainstream media to give it to us straight, and they didn't. And then we got wiser as the years went on, but they have not changed their tactic. They're still doing the same shit. I fear a lot for people that are in their 20s, kids that are growing up, 16, 17. They don't have a real outlet that is factual all the time. And I don't know what that's like growing up, of just not having a valid source to stick with. You have to go to things like TikTok or Instagram or Facebook to try and figure out what is real and what isn't. And even sometimes that's not enough.
And like, you're getting commentary, not news. You're not getting, you know, there's no, because I'll tell you this, I don't speak, I'm giving facts, but I'm giving my commentary. I'm giving, you know, I'm a pundit. We're pundits. We're, you know, we're commentators. We are not journalists. We are not.
These are opinions. These are
opinions. We're very we're open with that. I mean, I'm going to give you facts, but I'm also giving you, hey, this is what happened. This is my opinion on it. We don't have true journalism anymore. Journalism is dead. We don't have true journalism that just give you the facts without any bias, without any motive, without any agenda. And that's the biggest problem when it comes to media in this country. So I'm gonna cover that again. I'm covering that pretty extensive in the morning, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Jason, tell us about, y'all had an interesting guest 2 weeks ago on One More. I love him. I think everybody loves him. Tell us how that went about and how did y'all end up getting Afroman and what the experience, y'all went out to his house. Tell us all about that, man.
Well, we originally were supposed to go out to his house, but so I have to give credit to Dan, as much as it hurts my soul to do so. But Dan got a guest, because I normally get most of our live guests, and I'm being funny with that, kind of sarcastic, but kind of true. But no, he was like, "Hey, Afroman wants to come on the podcast." And I was like, "Oh shit, all right." We had been working on him for ever since his house got raided. I had reached out to him and he was like, "Hey, I can't do anything until after the court case is settled." And then, like, towards the end of the court case, he was able to go on Dan's radio show on 700, but Dan had his number. So he's reaching out, and in true Afroman fashion, we didn't hear much for a while. And then all of a sudden, Dan goes, "Hey, Afroman just reached out, says he wants to do a podcast." I'm like, "All right, perfect. Tell him to set the date. Let's do it." So originally, our plan was to go out to his house where all the shit happened, where his door got knocked in, his gate got fucked up, lemon pound cake, got fucking stared at. And I was like, this will be fucking awesome. I have all the shit. I'll fucking pack it up. We'll go. Afroman didn't have internet. I need internet. So
Afroman doesn't have internet at his house?
Well, he was, in quotes, in between internet providers.
Ah.
Got you.
Now, the text that he sent
That
Dan
tracks.
was, I was going to pay my internet, but then I got high.
Fair.
In quotes.
That tracks.
So, but I was like, all right, well, we can do it virtual. I mean, I can send you the link. You can do it on your phone or you can do it on a computer, you know, whatever, wherever you can be. And he was like, no, I want to do it live. So we scrambled, you know, that morning, and I hate to give credit to Pappas. I hate to do it.
Too.
That's worse than giving it to Dan.
I'm done for like 5 years of giving credit anymore. But Pappas opened up his house, so we did it on his outdoor patio. But yeah, Afroman showed up to Pappas's house. We had everything set up. Everything was good. I want to tell you, if you don't know who Afroman is, if you're listening, you hear his songs. You may not like all of his music and whatever. I'm a huge fan. I've been a fan.
Love it. Oh, I love it.
I've been a fan for 15 years.
That's my day. That's back in my day.
Your day.
You know, my buddy Chris and I have been listening to him forever, but even as high as he was when he got there, super, super intelligent. A very smart man.
He is a smart guy.
He's a good businessman. And he went through his whole story as he's done on multiple, you know, I mean, shit, we can say that we've had a couple people that have been on Fox News, you know, national networks. We've had live on our podcast, but super cool dude, just awesome. But he rolls up in a Rolls Royce, and you know, back door opens. It's a suicide door. It opens up, and I'm like, oh shit, this whole neighborhood now fucking just reeks of weed. Stoned out of his fucking mind, but once he got on and was ready to go, gave us the whole story, man. It was awesome. It was cool as shit. So
I watched the whole thing. Y'all did a great job on it, man. Y'all did, and I thought y'all were at his house. Well, Pappas got a gangster house, man.
Oh yeah, he does.
So that's Pappas's Zen garden. I got you. So I'll tell you that my take on it was, you know, obviously it was a bad situation, but I still don't feel like he is anti-police. You know, he's anti what happened. He's anti those people, but I don't feel like he's anti-police. I feel like he's a reasonable man. I'm sure we disagree on what our last topic was. I'm sure he thinks that George Floyd was murdered, which is fine. But I don't feel like he's an unreasonable man. And I feel like they were wrong, man. I really feel like that whole agency was wrong.
He made that Adams County Sheriff's Department look like a complete and utter Barney Fife, Andy Griffith, Mayberry type situation.
He made those attorneys look silly on the stand. I watched his testimony.
So Candace, so just to throw, and anybody else that's listening. So we're in a suburb. Afroman lives probably 45 minutes to an hour east of us, and it's very rural.
Yeah.
And he is probably, and I'm being, I'm going to get fucking jacked for this, I'm sure, but probably one of maybe 5 black people that live in that whole county.
It's a fact. It's a fact. It's a fact.
Like it's a very white hillbilly-ish county. I mean, it's just it's what it is. But they fucking love him out there because he gives back to the community.
Right.
I mean, he's there, you know, and whatever. But it was just so funny to see where he gets the target of being Afroman and knowing that he smokes weed and he's got drugs and whatever. And then as a story, and go back and watch the episode, because you know there was an informant that gave them bullshit information. They got a bullshit warrant, found nothing, fucked all his shit up, refused to pay for it.
Damn.
And he was like, and then they sued him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the most important part.
But
he didn't sue them. They sued him.
He comes out clean on every count from every one of these fucking idiot fucking sheriff's deputies.
Yeah.
because he used his own surveillance footage in his house. Every part of his house is videoed, but he used it and made music out of it, made music videos, and made money. Well, they wanted some of that money. Well, the jury, and it was a jury trial, wasn't just a judge trial. They're like, well, no, like he's within his rights. It's his video footage that he's using.
He's a believable guy too, and
Dude, and hearing him tell the story in person, like I've seen it. I saw it on Fox News. You know, he was on Hannity, he was on Jesse Waters, sitting right next to him and hearing him tell the story. Like he's passionate about it. He was like, I don't know what the fuck I did wrong. And making the joke, he was like, dude, I was like 80 counties away. I wasn't going home because I knew the fucking cops were there. Fuck that. I ain't going there, but I'll figure it out when I get home. He was just a realist.
And see the difference? Like he fought back the right way.
Yeah,
that's what you.
No, you're
do.
a good point. Good point.
Back the right way. You know, like I said a million times before, I believe there are a lot of shitty cops out there. There are. It is what it is. They abuse their power. They do some shady shit. Okay. Fight back the right way, because when you do, you'll be vindicated. And you know what? He didn't go riot. He didn't like start threatening. He didn't do anything wild. He fought back the right way and he won. And so anybody that struggles with that, like this is a perfect person to take a page out of his book, because it can happen to anybody. And you don't have to be violent. You don't have to respond in a way that's going to make things worse for you. You can do it the right way and you can be completely vindicated in the end. And
you know what's awesome with the podcast that we have, that we do, you know, 2 times a week ideally, we're conservative or right. Not a single word of politics came up in that. It was just a fucking story.
No, it was. It absolutely was.
Anybody can relate to that. At the end of the day, that's not a political thing. Like, I think we have lost that we are so like, you're a Democrat and you're a Republican, so you're an asshole and you're an asshole and that's it. But honestly, there are so many things that we can actually agree on and have normal conversations about if we didn't know what each other was, or if it wasn't even a concern.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Jason, because I watched the entire show and I still couldn't tell you if he liked Trump or didn't like Trump.
Yeah. I mean, it's as simple as that.
Yeah,
I think to find out how he's registered. I mean, but
that also says, you know, the way y'all handled the actual interview. You know, I think y'all did a really good job. It was
so much fun.
I could tell it was fun. So, oh man, that's almost 8:15 or 9:15, and y'all's in.
Look at us go.
I know. I know the pregnant girl's getting tired. So, what you got in closing, Candace?
Man, I mean, we covered a lot. First of all, the one thing that I'm going to say is that we can't go like 3-4 fucking weeks again, because there was just too much. We had to catch up.
Yeah, I know. Well, next week, we're going to be out next week because, unless y'all do it without me, which y'all can get Pappas or Dan or somebody maybe Dexter or somebody to cover for me. But if y'all want to do that, I'm absolutely okay with it.
I'm thinking closing wise. I think everything that we talked about kind of circles back to everybody, whether you're a Republican, whether you're a Democrat, you have certain feelings on certain topics, and we could potentially come to some sort of common ground, or we can continue to hate each other and go nowhere. I mean, I agree with that. It's honestly the simplest thing, and I feel like we touch on this every time we are together, where we can keep doing this. We can keep going around and around again, and we will, because it's inevitable. But, you know, is there going to ever be a resolution? You know, are we ever going to feel comfortable with a Democrat for running? Are we ever going to be comfortable with a conservative for, like, what is the end game for people? Because, 28 is coming. Like, we're almost here. And is it going to get worse or is it going to get better? Are we going to find common ground? Or are we not? Because it's ultimately going to dictate who does well in the elections and who doesn't, and what we do as people.
Good point.
That's all I fucking got.
Jason, what about you?
Well, I'll piggyback a little bit on that. You know, over the last, like say, 10 or 15 years, the divide has been so so wide. And if we had a good Democratic nominee and went against and won and was a Democratic president that could actually fucking do a job, I would be okay with it. I'm okay with whatever Democrat comes in because he's my president. If he gets voted in, I'm that guy that's my president.
Right.
I may not like it, but I support it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to like your policies, but it drops further down into representatives, senators, governors, congressmen. I'm not going to agree with fucking everything, right? We have to come to a common ground. Do I think it's going to happen? No, because over the last 10 or 15 years, the divide has been, broadened so much, in my opinion, with all of the, the race riots and, you had George Floyd, we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's hard to recover from that. And now you bring in all the trans and all the other shit. The divide, I feel, the wedge has been driven in so fucking hard that it's hard to bring it together. As a party, bring it together. As a party, bring it together on each side. And then, may the best man win, but you just gotta support and back, but you gotta start fucking low. Don't worry about who the fucking president is. Start low. And that changes everything.
Well, my closing is real simple. Circle back to what my two things of the night. AOC, stay your ass in New York. Don't come around fucking with these coon asses because they're going to bend your big ass over and put a couple pounds of the other Buddha in you. And George Floyd died of a drug overdose. He's a criminal. He was a drug addict. He died in the commission of a crime by his own doing, and he was not murdered. And 4 policemen went to prison over it. And 6 years later, we're still not recognizing that as a nation. And it is a complete injustice. That's all I got.
Well, we were trying to be fucking nice, James. All right.
Well, I'm not going to, I'm not, well, I'm sitting there holding hands saying kumbaya. I'm going to give it to them. Somebody had to get mad. We can't leave on a note like that. Everybody fucking, why can't we all, Rodney King, can't we all just get along?
You guys know how I feel. COVID fucked everything up. And like that is like my benchmark.
Hey,
it started
COVID is your George Floyd.
Oh, dude. COVID, like it burns. Like I see somebody with a mask on and I'm just like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And so these are the people I'm like, oh, we have to come together and try to understand. And I'm like, fuck this person with their mask on. So, I mean, I'm to everybody's credit. I don't know how we're going to make this happen, you guys, but I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Hantavirus.
All right. We'll see you. We will see y'all on the next one. Good night.
Good night, everybody.